Hey everybody, it's Corey Wilson with Wilson's Recreation from Augusta, Maine. Today we have a 2012 Yamaha Grizzly 550 that will not start. The very first thing we did, of course, was we grabbed our multimeter and we checked to make sure that we had a good amount of voltage here on our battery. And we have 13 volts, so we've got a well-charged battery, so that's the first thing that I would want to know. The second thing, in order to find out what's going on, is we need to check the starter solenoid. The starter solenoid on the 550 is located under this front cover, so you'll have to unbolt your front rack and just swing it off to the side or take it completely off. Then you'll be able to pop this front cover off. This is your starter solenoid. As you can see, there's two fuses, which you can clearly tell in this case are both good. The very easiest way to check to see if your starter solenoid is good is you can actually, or good or bad, is you can use your multimeter. And what you should have is always have power to this side. Okay, so I'm going to just connect my negative to my battery. So that way we can do a quick voltage check, and I've already done this, so I know in this case what's going on, but I'm just showing you. So you should have power to this side, which we do. We have 13 volts. Then what should happen is you shouldn't have any power to this side until you turn your key on and you attempt to start it. So we'll go ahead and do that now, and I'll try to set this up so that you guys can see. Hard to find a spot here. And then you want to squeeze your brake, obviously, and attempt to start it and test the other side. And you should have voltage that goes across. You should also hear your solenoid click. So as I do this, you can hear it clicking. So just the click doesn't mean that it's definitely always working, so do your test. Another way, if you're kind of doing this in the field, is you can actually run a screwdriver or anything metal from one side to the other. What that does is it bypasses this solenoid, and if when you do this your wheeler cranks over, then you know that your problem is your solenoid. If when you do this the wheeler still doesn't do anything, then there's a chance that either this wire is bad, which goes down to your starter. It's probably most likely going to be your starter, but I have seen that there's some corrosion on the starter on other models. So don't just assume that your starter's junk, although there's a very good chance that it is. The next thing, now that we know that our solenoid is good on this particular unit, I came over here and I popped this side panel off. It's got a little little plastic rivet over here and here, and it also has a 10mm screw down here that's under the fender that you'll have to take off. I've already done that for ease of this video. The next thing that you have to do is just pop this air breather tube off. You can just pull it off. It just has a little clip behind it, and unscrew down here. Your starter is located in here. This is actually a really good machine to change the starter on. So you have two starter screws. This one has your ground wire on it. I'm going to try to show you. You can see that's your starter, of course. This one has your ground wire on it. There's one screw here. These are 8mm screws. I've already taken the screws out. Here they are. This is what they look like. They're 8mm. You've got one on, kind of hard to fit in here. One on the left side. Try to focus here for you. One on the left side, right where that wire is coming out of. That holds the back side of the starter on. Yep, there you go. And then you've got another one on the other side. That's it. This is all that holds the starter in. So if you want to confirm, first off, before you start taking the starter apart, if you want to confirm that your starter is actually junk and it's not a wiring problem, you can take and just stick your multimeter probe right here. This is just a plastic cover, and behind that is going to be the nut that is the power to your starter. Just stick the probe in there and ground the other side out, obviously. And when you attempt to start it, you should have power here. And if you do have power here and the starter's obviously not working, then your starter is defective, and you'd want to replace the starter. So they're only like 80 bucks on Amazon. But in this case, we've confirmed that we did have power here, that the problem was actually the starter and that was defective. So I took those two 8mm screws out, and then I took a little pry bar, stuck it in here, and just pried very gently between the starter and the case, and it popped right out. And now I've got my starter free and clear, and of course I just need to take my wire off, and that's it. This is it to get the starter out on these 550s. So it's a pretty easy change, probably the easiest starter I've changed in a real long time. So that's it. Then I ordered a new starter. They're 80 bucks on Amazon, and we'll do the reverse. Obviously, we'll disconnect this wire. If you wanted to bench test this for any particular reason, you could by just running power to this main power wire and grounding out the actual motor. But in this case, I know that my motor's junk. So I hope that this video helps you guys. If it does, please comment below. Let me know how you have luck. And if you could subscribe to my channel, I would definitely appreciate it. And we'll keep these how-to videos coming. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.